Hi, hello, welcome, friends, to a brand new year that is hopefully much better than 2020. Today I wanted to talk about something that happened in 2020 just a few months ago, actually. Even though this happened in October, I keep seeing it brought up on social media, and even some YouTubers have brought it up in passing, like calling Ice Cube a dumbass, and most of this disdain seems to be coming from the Black community. I think we're supposed to be mad at him because he be cooning, when in reality I think we just need to cool it with the mob mentality and actually listen to what people are saying. Before I even explain what happened, let me just preface this by saying I am not a Trump supporter. Okay? I do not endorse Donald Trump. I fucking despise Donald Trump. Okay? So if anyone in the comments wants to go there, feel free to look stupid, babe. So as far as I know, this all seemed to have started on September 26th when Cube tweeted the following. After getting a very close look at our politics and politicians, I've turned into a single issue voter. My single issue is whoever does the most for Black Americans will get my vote. If you leave us blank, I will leave you blank. Crumbles not expected. America has never been a democracy to Black people. It's always been a dictatorship. But instead of one dictator, we've had to deal with millions of them. So fair enough. I don't really see anything wrong with what he just said there. I mean, should we not pressure politicians into giving us what we need? Isn't that what politicians are for? To represent their constituents? But somehow he began getting a bit of backlash just for that, because I guess we automatically owe the Democratic Party our vote. You know, because we're Black. So then not too long after that, Ice Cube went on to Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. During the episode, he talked about how the George Floyd murder that happened in broad fucking daylight really impacted him, as it did for many of us, and that he couldn't take it anymore and something needed to be done. We needed a concrete agenda. He mentioned that voting is great, but voting with a purpose is better. Like, we were actually gonna get something from our vote. So he created the contract with Black America and wanted politicians to sign on to it in exchange for the Black vote. And Jada's mother, Adrienne, made a comment that I think was well said.
I was just gonna say this contract is so important because there's so many Black Americans in particular that are dissatisfied with both the Republican and the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. And they feel like the parties aren't doing anything for them. Right. But we have to have an ask. Yes. We have to come to the table. We just can't come out and say, well, nobody's doing anything for us. Mm-hmm. What is it that we want? Right. And we also have to understand that people kind of treat us like all Black people think alike. That is not true. Yeah, right. We are individuals just like everybody else, and we have different opinions on how things have to run.
Exactly. So here's what I think. A lot of people think I say don't vote, but that's not true. My thing is, politicians should never think, oh, I got you, oh, he gonna vote for me. They should always think, I gotta do more to get this vote. And they will do more. All parties have to pay attention to our needs. All parties have to pay attention to what we need done. We got to let them know, hey, with y'all, but y'all got to do more.
Right.
Or we got to start doing something different, because what's happening is one party is putting us in their pocket and one party is not paying attention to us at all. Mm-hmm. And so we're not getting anything. Mm-hmm. So we got to break loose of that. Mm-hmm. But we got to say, hey, you want this, you got to work for it. Mm-hmm. I don't care what party you come from.
I mean, not a lie was told. Within this contract, he wants to change how schools are funded. He wanted mandatory civil rights and anti-racism classes. He also mentioned how we need to close the wealth gap, which is one of my top issues. I'm so glad he put an emphasis on that. As some of you may know, the ratio of white family wealth to Black family wealth is higher today than it was at the start of the century. And Black applicants are denied loans at an 80% higher rate than white applicants, which is just insane. So he also mentions in the contract that interest rates on Black loans need to be the same average rate as white loans. He said that we live in a capitalistic society that only respects money. Facts. He said he wants more Black banks. Cool. He talks about police reform and wanting to end qualified immunity. Completely agree. In the contract, he also wants to eliminate no-knock warrants, which is, of course, what killed Breonna Taylor. Under this police reform section, it's a lot of demands, many of which I agree with and understand. But at this point, I do think the police are beyond reform, and I do think that they eventually need to be abolished in order for us to have any peace. But that's just me. He talks about wanting equal healthcare facilities in all neighborhoods, regardless of demographics. He says he wants an apology to Black America from the president or the Senate or whoever is up there in a high position of power for all of the treatment that Blacks have endured over, I don't know, the last couple centuries. Which, it really blows my mind that not one leader since the Civil Rights Act was passed has come out and apologized to Black Americans for enslaving our ancestors for hundreds of years and lynching us and setting ablaze our homes and churches as recently as the 1960s. Wow. Especially when you think about how the Germans apologized for the Holocaust and paid more than $80 billion in reparations since 1952. Yeah, America sucks. I watched all 37 minutes of that Red Table Talk, and from what I can tell, nothing but facts were stated. I mean, you can have your criticisms of Red Table Talk, which, trust me, I have some of my own as well. You can have your criticisms of Ice Cube, but if you are a Black person on the left or an ally of Black people on the left, nothing that was said in that video should have bothered you to the point of calling Ice Cube a dumbass. On October 11th, he tweeted out this video kind of explaining why he's been speaking out more regarding politics and why we all need to be paying more attention.
The system is fucked up. It's just designed totally. And not only designed, but there's a dedication to keeping us at the bottom of this country. I don't know if we can count on any parties to get us about the shit, to be honest. So we are gonna have to do a lot of things different as a Black community. We have to pool our resources. We have to think about ourselves. You know, we love all the other races of the world, but at some point we gotta figure out how do we get ahead? Because everybody's on top of us, but us. Or everybody's on top of us. And the shit ain't gonna work. We ain't gonna survive this. The way it's going. It's just designed that I can't see the future. So we gotta change this shit. Everybody's been mad at me because I haven't been on the fucking, the gravy train of these candidates, especially Joe Biden and Harris. I don't trust none of them. No president has done right by us. So I don't trust none of them. So putting our hopes and dreams behind any of them just don't work. We gotta make them do what we want them to do. And there's only a few ways to do that. Now, I've been making contacts trying to talk about these real issues. Straight up, I believe the Democrats they've been nice. They've been cordial, so to speak. I don't really see them pushing their policies in any different direction. They're still talking this minority, people of color shit that don't necessarily include us, that don't necessarily include Black Americans, especially descendants of slaves, ADOS, American descendants of slaves. That ain't specifically us, it's everybody. We ain't gonna get shit. Because when you look around, everybody hates us. So we still at the bottom of that. So, I think the Democrats, they got every Black celebrity and shit on their team, so they just figure, tell Q to shut the fuck up and vote. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna push the program. We got a program, I'm pushing it on everybody. We also met with the Republicans and shit. They brought us in, we talked to them. They've moved their agenda a lot because of what we said. They put $500 billion on the table, and but who knows? Who knows what's gonna really happen? I just know one of them gonna win. I don't know if it can really matter to us. We gotta just push whoever's in there, because ain't nobody really solved our problems. People say we can't take another 4 years of this. Black people, we could take anything. Shit. Joe Biden, the Democrats, I believe they owe us. Will they do right by us at the end of the day? Who knows? I think the plan they have is they're doing a lot when it comes to safety and police and all this shit, but that dough is thin. Everybody money's thin. I mean, we're not gonna get no respect in this country without the cash. We ain't gonna get no respect in this country without having money in our community. It just ain't gonna happen. Everybody could be mad at me, pissed off at me. I don't give hey, y'all know what it is. I'm trying to get to the truth. I ain't about to be part of nobody program. Ain't nobody gonna get me to back down. And if y'all don't want to hear the truth, then that's it's kind of a personal problem. Because I'm gonna keep spitting it how I see it. I think the problem is we a little too one-sided, and we need to hold everybody to the fire and make sure everybody do what they supposed to do when it comes to black people. Not get caught up in a whole lot of white people business. Need to worry about our own. What's going on with us. And then when we get what we gotta get, then we'll welcome everybody. We gotta make a decision, and we gotta push people to do something big and do it right now.
Once again, don't really see anything wrong with what he said there. Now, on October 14th, he tweeted out the following. Facts. I put out the contract with Black America. Both parties contacted me. Dem said we'll address the contract with Black America after the election. Trump campaign made some adjustments to their plan after talking to us about the contract with Black America. And then he went on to respond to a fan claiming that he's working with the dark side. Every side is the dark side for us here in America. They're all the same until something changes for us. They all lie and they all cheat, but we can't afford not to negotiate with whoever is in power, or our condition in this country will never change. Our justice is bipartisan. I will say I do think it's a bit naive to have any kind of hope that any one of those motherfuckers in the Republican Party are ever gonna do a goddamn thing for us. I think they've pretty much proven themselves to be corrupt, racist asshats who barely give a fuck about poor white people, let alone black people. I do also think it's funny that the Democrats he spoke with said they'll talk about it after the election, because that's such a Democrat thing to say. Oh, the blacks want something for their vote? Tell them to vote for us first, and then we'll talk about it once we're in office. And then they just never address it again. The following day, he tweeted out, Black progress is a bipartisan issue. When we created the contract with Black America, we expected to talk to both sides of the aisle. Talking truth to power is part of the process. Then he responded to a headline by the Washington Post saying, I will advise anybody on the planet who has the power to help Black Americans close the enormous wealth gap. I hate the Washington Post, by the way. Fun fact. It's owned by Jeff Bezos. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos. But I understand where Ice Cube is coming from. But again, Trump not about to do a damn thing for us. He may say he will, but the bitch is a pathological liar. Like, we been knew this. So that's where I think Cube went wrong. By thinking Trump or anyone in the Republican Party would ever legitimately consider doing any one of his demands in that contract, especially when it came to police reform. But let's be all the way the fuck clear here. He never endorsed Trump. He never said he would vote for Trump. He never said he was voting for anyone, as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm sure y'all let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but again, why are we so mad? Oh yeah, and on October 17th, he tweeted, a lot of energy being spent on telling me to stay in my lane. Zero energy spent on telling Biden and Harris they need to do way more for black people to shore up the vote. Shaking my head. When I saw that pop up on my timeline, I was like, because y'all sure wasn't pressuring Biden for shit. I mean, I understand that these were dire circumstances and we needed to get Trump out ASAP. I get all that. Trust me. But if we as Black Americans, as Americans period, continue to let the Democrats slide and not hold them accountable for shit, we're not going to get anything done. It's going to be the same old bullshit every year because Team Blue good, Team Red bad. What we need is a hostile takeover of the Democratic Party. We need the AOCs and the Ilhan Omars and the Cori Bushes of the party to light that bitch up, like Bernie Sanders has been trying to do for decades. What we need is politicians who actually fight for us. Demand we defund the police. Demand we get Medicare for all. Demand we get housing for all and universal basic income and a Green New Deal. And get these motherfucking troops out the Middle East. Damn, they've been there since I was like fucking 7. Get them out. End these motherfucking wars, goddammit. They have complete capability of doing all of those things for us. They just don't want to. They don't feel like it. They'll give you all these excuses, you know, oh, we can't pay for it, we can't afford it. We literally print our own money, so shut the fuck up. We can do it. They just don't feel like it. Well, they got us fucked up. Also, I don't know if any of you guys fell for this shit, but Eric Trump's stupid ass tweeted out this photo of Cube and 50 Cent seemingly wearing Trump hats, when in reality, it was photoshopped and they weren't wearing Trump hats at all. And all Cube responded with was, nigga, please. That was funny. So I was trying to figure out why us as Black people are mad at Ice Cube. Why are we so angry with him? My theory is that since this was all happening before the election, I think a lot of people probably thought, why is he not kissing Biden's ass so he can beat Trump next month? I mean, there are people out there that genuinely believe that one comedian or one rapper or one person with a huge platform can completely alter the course of the entire election. Yeah, that's not how that works, babes. A lot of people came at John Mulaney after his SNL monologue for this exact same reason.
Stop it, guys. We have to pretend that Biden and Harris are actually awesome so they can win, okay? Positive vibes only, guys. Come on.
And then what happened in November? Oh yeah, Biden still won. Well, would you look at that? Also, where is this same energy for 50 Cent, who, in response to what he thought were tax rates under Biden's plan, said, what the fuck? Vote for Trump. I'm out. Fuck New York. The Dukes never... I don't know what accent I was going for. Okay. What the fuck? Vote for Trump. I'm out. Fuck New York. The Knicks never win anyway. I don't care. Trump doesn't like Black people. 62%. Are you out your fucking mind? Anyway, where's the same energy for Lil Wayne, who, might I remind you, tweeted a nice little wholesome pic with him and Trump with the caption, just had a great meeting with Donald Trump. Besides what he's done so far with criminal reform, the Platinum Plan is gonna give the community real ownership. He listened to what we had to say today and ensure he will and can get it done.
Child. Anyway, so
Now, in my mind, that is far worse than anything Ice Cube did. They both basically endorsed the motherfucker, like, eat the rich. I'm telling y'all, eat the motherfucking rich. Diddy was also someone who kind of created his own Black agenda. In October, he launched Our Black Party, which focuses on advancing a political agenda to address the needs of Black people. Now, he actually did endorse Biden, so that's probably why he didn't get as much backlash. Fitting. It's probably why he didn't get as much backlash as Ice Cube. But he also said, once we get him in, we need to hold him accountable, which I would hope we could all agree with. Brianna Joy Gray, who is the former press secretary for the Bernie Sanders campaign, as well as the co-host of the Bad Faith podcast, and one of my absolute favorite people to listen to in the political sphere, she went on TMZ back in October and kind of explained why the Ice Cubes and the 50 Cents shouldn't be lumped together.
On one hand, when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black, that drew a lot of criticism from the African American community because people said, look, we're not a monolithic group. We have minds of our own. And that was insulting. But yet, on the other hand, there's a lot of criticism of people like 50 Cent when he actually breaks from the, I don't want to say the drill, but is, like you said, the majority of African Americans are Democrats. And he has shown that it's not monolithic, yet he gets attacked for it. Is there some inconsistency there?
Well, I think there's a big difference, again, between 50 Cent saying, I'm going to protect my affluent economic interests by voting for Donald Trump, something which is in line with his personal economic interests, and someone like Ice Cube or Diddy, who are arguing that that the Democratic Party needs to do more for Black Americans, talking specifically about criminal justice reform, qualified immunity, environmental reforms, a lot of things that majorities of Democrats actually support. And I think that celebrities using their celebrity to elevate the extent to which the Democratic Party has often taken its base for granted is something that is done in an effort to push the party left to where most Americans are. I want to really be clear. 88% of Democrats support Medicare for all, and a slim majority of Republicans do too. So celebrities asking these simple questions about why the party isn't more responsive to the core base needs of the Democratic electorate and to voters in general is a very, very different thing than an affluent celebrity simply protecting their own class interest.
They actually had Cube on the Bad Faith podcast along with Derek Hamilton and Philip Agnew, and it was a really interesting and enlightening conversation, and I definitely think you guys should check it out. He mentioned on there that he wasn't really paying that much attention to the primaries, and I just really wish he had, because Bernie Sanders was right there. We almost had him. We could have had him. We just could have had him. Guys, please pay more attention to the primaries. It is so fucking important. And trust me when I say, trust me, daddy, trust me when I say Joe Biden was the worst candidate to put up against Trump. It is a miracle that he won. I think if it wasn't for COVID and how terribly Trump handled it, I don't know. Y'all. But yeah, he was definitely the worst candidate to put up against Trump out of all of them. And there were a lot of shitty candidates. That's why the election was as close as it was. I'm gonna end it with one of Brianna's tweets. She said, "I am a socialist. I find Ice Cube's agenda to be too focused on capital. Diddy's is better, but vague. But it's fascinating to me that the reaction to black men saying we deserve better, no matter how clumsy, is, how dare you ask for more, or you must love Trump." And there you have it. Moral of the story, we need to stop letting our hatred for Trump blind us from seeing when actual good points are being made. Just because somebody decides to try and talk to Trump, no matter how naive it may be, does not mean that they endorse the fucking fascists. It's not always that black and white. This was not a Kanye moment. We need to stop letting cancel culture and mob mentality engulf us this much. It's been toxic and I've been tired. I don't agree with everything that Ice Cube has said ever in life. You know, like he's posted some anti-Semitic shit or some memes or something on his Twitter last June, and of course I don't fuck with that whatsoever. I just want us to know our worth. Politicians work for us. Our vote is not owed to anyone. Now that Trump is finally on his way out, let's make sure that we hold Joe and Kamala fully accountable. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of being ignored. And I'm tired of people suffering from the same old bullshit when America's supposed to be the richest country in the world. Y'all got me fucked up. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. I'll have Ice Cube's contract with Black America linked down below so y'all can go read that for yourselves and base your opinions off of that and not a Twitter mob. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see me rant and vent about other topics. I have a lot of them in the dome right now, so be on the lookout and subscribe. Make sure you follow all my socials. That'll be down below as well. And I will see you what am I doing? I don't fucking know what I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.